welcome to today's math lesson. We're going to take a look at percentages. Okay, so the first thing to understand is the actual word percent means every 100. So every percentage is always represented out of 100, and that's where we see the percent sign. So we have been looking at ratios, like 2 to 1 is equal to 20 to 10. And we've looked at rates. For example, 3 apples for 5 people would be equal to 6 apples for 10 people. Okay, and in our ratio, we'd multiply the left and right by 10. In our rates, you can see we multiply the apples and the people by 2. Okay, so our scale factor goes this way. So percentages are exactly the same, except we're always looking for 100, and it will be written as a percentage, not anything else. Okay, so it could be 3 apples is 50%, 6 apples would be 100%, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, just understand when we're dealing with percentages, you will always see a percentage sign, it will always be out of 100. Okay, so percentages are easy, like unit rates and ratios, but the relationship is always with 100 instead of 1. Okay, so when we did unit rates, we're calculating to 1. This is the same thing, except we're dealing with 100 now. Okay, so let's get to some examples. So with fractions, to get a fraction into a percentage, you divide the top by the bottom and you multiply by 100. So for example, 4 over 10, 4 divided by 10 is 0.4 times 100 is 40. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, and we've done this before in class. Okay, so pause and give these ones a try, please. Okay, welcome back. So 16 out of 20 should have given you 80%. 11 out of 30, you probably noticed on your calculator is 36.66666666. We're just going to go one decimal place for percentages, so that 0.6 has to be rounded up to 0.7. Okay, so 36.7. And finally, 7 over 19, 36.8%. Okay. So anytime you've seen this sign at the end, we know that is just dealing, this is just dealing with a number out of 100. Okay. In terms of decimals, getting a decimal to a percentage, you multiply by 100. For example, 0.72, we have 72%. We just take our decimal, we multiply it by 100, and that's what we get on our calculator. Okay, so pause and try these, please. Okay, pretty straightforward. So our 0.23, 23%. Our 0.98 is 98%. And our 1.29 is 129%. Okay, you have to stop thinking that a percentage is like a mark where the maximum you can get is 100. Percentages can be over 100. Okay, you of course can't really do it in school because 100 is perfect. But 100% represents one whole. When we do a math assignment, there's just one assignment, so there's one whole, so it's a maximum of 100. All right, but if you think of winning the lottery, you might put $2 in, and you might win like $200. Well, you went up by more than 100%. If you put $2 in and you got 100% winnings, you'd win $2. The final thing to look at is grids. Okay, basically a grid is 100, so every square represents 1%. So if 10 out of 100 are colored, we're looking at 10%. Okay, try these two. Okay, give it a pause, give it a try. Okay, the first one, we got 52%. Second one, there's two grids. We got one full grid that's 100, one full line that's another 10, and four more. We've got 114%. Okay, so we're going to start out fairly simple today, this week with our math and focus on percentages, and we'll go from there. The questions do get a little bit trickier. Just going to assign you a few for today. Okay, good luck with it.